Daudi, all the motorsports fans in the world are now focusing on Kenya. Everybody wants to see how will the sixth leg in the series pan out.
Yeah, everyone, of course, now is focused in Kenya. You know, like we said earlier, the locomotive has already departed from the station. It's us now with WRC, Safari Rally now. And we're going to hope for the best. I'm told the competition at the super special stages, Kasarani, was super. And I'm waiting to get to know what happened.
Excellent. We will be looking into that, taking our viewers now to get a feel of the action, to just now get into the nitty-gritties of it. But there is one thing we've not spoken about, and this is the service crews. Are they now all set in the different areas? No servicing between now and say they get to the service, service sections in Naivasha?
I think there is a service at Naivasha before the cars go into Park Ferme. Usually what they do, they will have a service after the super special, because you realize the super special is actually a time stage, and you never know what could happen. You could injure, you could break your car, you could do something with it. So you need some time before you put your car into Park Ferme to check around, check everything, make sure everything is okay, so that you're ready for action tomorrow morning. And of course, without the service crew and service crew who know what they're doing, there is no rally, because these are the guys who ensure that your car is running smoothly, your car is repaired, your car is ready for action, and hopefully ready to do the thing.
But you've been there before, or this is what you do when you are free and able. How do you communicate to the service crew? You are in the middle of a section, you've broken, say, you've broken an arm, or you've broken suspensions. How do you communicate to them that my rear suspension is gone, so that they are ready for you in good time?
Well, today we are lucky we have mobile phones, so it's very easy to reach back into your pocket and call. Or if you have an intercom that has a Bluetooth capability, you don't even have to touch your phone. You just you can play around with the intercom, and it will call your crew. But I remember in the old days, maybe Daudi can tell us, it used to be very hard. You know, if you are, once you are out in the bush, I think people would send a message with the car passing. If you find my service crew, can you tell them I'm stuck at kilometer this or that? Maybe Daudi can tell us.
And would they come to aid you, because it's not allowed to service the car, because then it is you and your navigator?
I tend to think, like during my earlier days, I think that's why we had helicopters following those special teams. And I think each one of those very special team, those rally drivers, had actually a helicopter following them, airborne, just in case. That was the kind of communication they had then. But now with the modern technology, like my friend Karedi says, it's just a matter of touch, and then voila, you get your crew.
And also, don't forget that today every vehicle has a tracker, a live tracker on it, and that live tracking link is actually available to the public. So even the people at HQ, including your service crew and your team, are able to know exactly where you are. They're able to know whether that car is still moving. They're able to know at what speed the car is moving, because if you're in a fast section and you're going slowly, they can already start sensing that maybe they have a problem. So today communication is easy. You're never out of range.
Completely.
Yeah.
And do you have a way to communicate to them that maybe the vehicle has stopped and all is well, so that if there is an emergency that they can't track you or they can't communicate, they can always know how to reach you?
Well, if you stop in the competitive stage, then all can't be well. Competitive stage, you must be moving. So of course people would want to know what the issue is. But like I say, the vehicle that we have been using has an intercom that has a Bluetooth, so you can just click on the play and call, and you can find out from the guys, or you can tell the guys what the problem is. But usually if the rally car stops in the stage, the first person to be talked to is the HQ, the officials. They are the ones who will find out what is wrong with that car. Have they had an accident? Is the car had a problem? So the first thing usually is the service crew. If they notice that you have stopped, they will go to the HQ and ask the HQ, is there any more information you have about car number, let's say 54? And the HQ, if they have had any good or bad news, they'll be able to convey. Now after that, maybe if time passes, maybe they might even pick up their own phones and call us. But usually once you stop, in the next maybe minute or so, you have communicated to whoever needs to know what has happened.
Very interesting. We are in modern times, and technology always comes to play. Daudi, In the yesteryears, we know that the safari would go through the entire country and in public land, where spectators would be out there, watching and having fun as the vehicles are zoomed by. We are now forced to run in private land. Do you think that will water down what the safari used to be, or it's the condition that we have to live with?
Oh, absolutely. You see, like the way we used to, like I remember where I used to live, our home, Mwisho wa Lami. Like we would kind of like hear Mambo say that the cars would be passing somewhere around 3 a.m. But we would be there at 7 p.m., waiting until 3 a.m. Now you see, like with the spectators now not having that fun, to be able to see them. And of course, because of their safety, it kind of like waters down a bit the oomph of the WRC. But what do? That's the new trend. The safety is paramount.
Safety is paramount, and as we look at the year 2002, when Kenya lost the opportunity to be part of the WRC, there were two main reasons. One was safety and security. The other reason was lack of government support. We are where we are. All that has since been solved, and Safari is back on Kenyan soil. Not Safari, but the WRC calendar now has Safari as part of the circuit. Very fortunate, we have it here. Now for the spectators, they will be there. A lot will be expected. Do you think when you as a driver and navigator are out there in the car and you see lots of fans, does it excite you? Does it encourage you to push harder and harder? Because normally at that point, the adrenaline is up there.
Of course, when you see people cheering you in any sport or in anything, you always feel that you can struggle harder. So of course, the more fans we see, the better it is. But of course, in the times we are in, it's difficult to have big crowds. But we are hopeful that people will get out there and look at the cars. We are hopeful that people will obey what the marshals tell them. There are safety marshals wherever fans will be. Safety marshals will be able to advise the fans where they can go and where they should not go. And so fans, in the past, sometimes people have been a bit excited. We haven't seen this type of cars in Kenya for a while. And I always tell people who have never seen a World Rally car in action, the first time you see it, it raises the hairs on the back of your neck. So people might get excited and want to go closer to the cars. We tell them, please listen to what the safety marshals are saying. Whatever indicators they are giving you is for your own safety, so that we can all on Sunday say that the event was a great success.
Definitely, it paints a picture and it tells us what we are supposed to do. Let's now quickly look at some of the drivers. Let's start with Sebastian Ogier, posting very quick time yesterday, leading in the shakedown that we saw yesterday. What do we expect of Sebastian Ogier as we look at some of the drivers? Sebastian Ogier, Evans, Thierry Neuville. What do we expect?
Oh, we expect actually great stuff from Sebastian Ogier as the current world champion. That's a wonderful man, especially when we saw him tackle those hairspin in those Masai Land, Naivasha area. You just wonder. I remember one fella who had driven for 23 years. After watching Sebastian Ogier, and he had done all the tracks, he said, really, I'm not a driver. If that guy can be able to do that hairspin like so, then seriously, we did go back to college to do driving. That's the beauty of this thing.
Looking at the list there, it's still, a very strong team. But our Kenyan boys are also there. Onkarai, Carl Flash, Tajvir Rai. They can actually give the rest a run for their money.
Well, I think you can Kenyan sports is largely is not professional. Kenyan sports is largely amateur. What do I mean? They are not being paid for it. I remember for a long time our rugby players, during the sevens, during the time of the late Benjamin Naimba, most of those guys were playing rugby part-time. They had jobs, they had other things to do. The same thing with Carl and Onka. These are people who are in business. They are not really professional rally drivers. Sebastian Ogier on Monday will probably be training for the next event. Yeah, Otanak on Monday will probably be training for the next event. This is their job. They earn quite a few shillings for it, and to compare the two might be a bit unfair. These are guys who are on another level, basically. And the other thing is the teams also are very well catered for. I mean, Toyota Gazoo is an arm of Toyota Corporation, which is is a massive company. It's even the owner of Subaru. For those who don't know.
Subaru, yes.
Yeah.
Big one indeed. Let's look at the route. From here, the vehicles from Kasarani now head to Naivasha. Then the rally proper starts tomorrow, as we look at some of the highlights from a route point of view.
I don't know what the marshals really have done so far in terms of like they will be taking the Naivasha road towards Naivasha town, where all the traffic is. And I hope they have taken care of that just in case. Otherwise, some of the spectators driving get excited and start driving and pretend that they are competing with this super machine. The best thing is that once you hear those guys are en route towards Naivasha, stay put, kaa kando, ujiangalie ukiwa kando, and life will be good for you.
Something to talk about the route, maybe the stages. You've been there before.
Yeah, stages are tough. It's going to be a tricky rally. I think most drivers have said this is a navigator's event. Lots of twists, a lot of things that can catch you out. Of course, a bit of fast sections. Sleeping Warrior has some long sections, 100 meters, 200 meters, and so it's going to have a mixture of everything. But of course, one has to be careful. This is Kenya. The WRC has not been here since 2002, so it's a bit of a joker. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, and I think it just lends itself to the excitement. It's open. It's an open game, level playing field. Let's see who does it by Sunday.
Sunday is the day that we will be talking about who's carried the day in terms of winning the rally. Remember, on Sunday, very clear, it is the power stage around Hell's Gate, and all that will be looked at on Sunday is trying to get those bonus points when the drivers will be flat out in terms of getting the maximum points that they can get. Gentlemen, we are wrapping up this. I mean, what are you looking for to Sunday? A successful event or some surprises?
Pretty successful. Of course, I expect the best team to win. And I'm actually also praying for my African guys, the Kenyan guys, Tundo,
Flash.
all of those, Mark Cray, Baldev, the Cabras guys with their beautiful uniform. I've actually covered those guys, I think, for the last almost 30 years. Their special uniform. I'm quite happy so far.
Well, likely to see surprises from a KNRC point of view?
Well, let's see. It's the safari. Anything can happen. And all the best to the teams, and may the best team win.
All the best to the teams, and may the best team win. And when we talk about team, we are talking about the crew in the car. Then there is the manufacturers that we'll be talking about. Daudi Kanja, thank you very much for making time to have been with us to help us unpack Safari Rally from the yesteryears to date. Kigo, thank you very much. Having been in the vehicle, you understand, you know what it takes being a navigator, and you've been to some of these special stages to understand the rocks, this dust that is involved. Thank you very much. We appreciate you making time to be with us.
Thank you.
Well, now we get ready to take you to Kasarani to just enjoy the action on what's been making headlines throughout the day, and it is the Safari Rally making it back into the WRC calendar. From me, I'm Fapidi. Thank you very much for having kept us company. Enjoy the action because it is live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Dear customer, you can now access Kenya Power services fast and easy directly from your mobile phone by dialing *977#. Kenya Power, powering people for better lives.